doing? And this is the first time I've ever done a live stream. I thought I'd try it. One of the ideas that behind doing this live stream is that I can pass on a little bit more information than I can do in my normal standard YouTube lessons. Obviously in the YouTube lessons I'm just pretty much covering songs. But I get a lot of my students, they ask me about specific things, and I always think it would be good if I could just put together a kind of a lesson that is kind of interactive in the sense it's happening, it's there, you know. And one of the things I'm always getting asked about, especially from the newer students, is how to improvise. When a lot of my students, they've got parts of their exams that they've got to take which they've got an improvisation section, and of course as soon as they hit that they get this mental block. Kind of kills them off, which is a bit of a shame, because the fact, you know, there is a lot going on with that, and it'd be nice to pass that information on so they can see it happening. What I was doing there at the beginning was just soloing over a nice A minor kind of blues figure, and pretty much going between an A minor to a D minor 7. So real colourful, nice chords in there. The turnaround working E minor 7, D minor 7, back to an A minor 7. So what can you play over the top of that? Now, A minor pentatonic is probably on the minor pentatonic, so probably the first things that most people ever learn. They get used to playing that standard minor pentatonic shapes. Very comfortable, very easy to play and very easy to remember. But the next stage really is how they can break away, how they can just to expand that, and of course using your positions really is the next stage. Now if we're thinking of A minor, your next position up, if we play on that 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, is to move up position number 2, which is going 8, 10, and then 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, and then 8, 10, 8, 10 on the remaining 2 strings at the top there. Now that in itself gives you something to do. One of the things I always like to teach my students, first of all, is to be able to maneuver into that little box there from the 1 position, very easy movement into the 2 box. And that is just to take this on the D string and move into the G. Just take that little slide where I'm moving from that 7 up to the 9, and then it gives me access to that 8, 10, 8, 10. So as I'm playing through, and I can take it backwards, back down again, so that's a pretty easy. And you can move around from that. And again, the phrasing, what I'm doing there is I'm kind of putting little breaks in. What I always like to do, them little slides, finishing back on that A note because it's a root note. And again, when I was up here, I was outlining the A minor when I'm playing through on that, because again, when I'm moving around, I want to be looking at chord tone positions. Now what you saw there, I was diving down into another one that I like to use, especially in the A minor, where I can go into position number 5. Now position number 5 is going to be 3, 5, 3, 5, and then I get 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 5. Now I use that instead of going across to this 8 note, 8 fret on the low E. So as I'm coming down from that number 1 box, I can go down here instead of there. Then I've got access to that note down here on 3rd fret, back to the A. So I can get a nice movement there. Another one is because I'm in A, I can use this E open string. So I can go up. By using that open string, so I can I don't tend to use this 2/4 on that. I can use it kind of age rock and roll using that. Just using the open string and again utilizing that 2 and 5. I can do that, but just in the general flow, as you know, for a beginner. And what I like to do is keep little units, just using 2 or 3 notes. Just backwards and forwards. Not overdoing it, because your typical beginner, this is what I always hear. They'll come on and they're so nervous of playing, we end up getting a scale. That's what we get. But I always say when you're starting off on your soloing here, this career soloing improvisation, don't start here on this low A string, because if you start there, there's really only one place you're going to go, and that's up. I always say start around this D and G, and you don't have to be on the D and G, you can just maneuver around this. So I've got a lot of room just to play little phrases here. So whatever I've done here, I can copy down here. So I can just move. So I've got little phrases built off there. So it's even before I put a bend into it. Another thing, when you're playing this, I always say, don't be afraid of playing the notes in between. A lot of people hear that they say about playing outside the box, and then they go on to this massive explanation, and at the end of it, even I'm sitting there thinking, why have they made something as simple as playing out the box into something that you need to spend years at music school to understand what the heck they're on about? You know, it's this note, that note. Really, whenever I'm playing this, I will just take the notes in between. I've got this 5/7, 5/7, 7/7, but it sounds so cool. Just play the note in between. Now, there's lots of explanations of what's happening there, but again, we're talking beginners. I don't want to complicate life any more than what it is just being a beginner learning how to improvise. But don't be afraid of running kind of little steps in between. And you can do that whenever you move positions as well. Like and it can sound pretty cool. Well, I think it does anyway. Sucks. But it's just one of them little things that I like to throw in, and it does have a great effect as you get by just running them notes. Now if I stick that backing track on again, and I'll purposely use these notes in between. Play a wrong note, we all do play a wrong note now. Make it a good note by taking a wrong note into a good one. And the way you do it, because you're really going to be a half tone away from it. So as you get, worst thing you can do is just stay on it and go, afraid of working outside the box. You can add so much to what you're playing. I'm going to kill it off. Great backing track. So what I've done so far, I've taken box number 1 and I've added box number 2 as a little way of manoeuvring that around. And I've also brought in box number 5 here. Nice little way of adding a little part to it. Now you can take it to the next stage, and again what I've done, what I again like to do is you think of box number 3 in A minor, and I've got this 12-10, and then I got 13, 13-10, and then 12 down to 9. Now of course I can add that in. To again put a little bit more phrasing, a little bit more interest in what you're playing, just by going into that area. I'm not really worried about this part, bottom end of that pattern. I'm just working it, and then I can slide back as I come back out. Slide back into the box. So just little parts of each one of them can work quite well. Another one that I've been working on with a number of my students, I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks now with them, is to take a little descending pattern from 5 position up here. So we're up on the 17th, we're in the scurry wheel here, we're on top end of the guitar here. I'm getting a 17, 15, and I'm going to be using 17, 15 on the B. Sliding down, so now I'm in box number 4. So I've picked up in 13. About 13, then I'm going to cross to 14 on the G. 14G on the D string. Sliding down to 10. And then I can use 10 and 12 on the A. They are my notes. That's my run, but what I like to do is to go backwards and forwards on the note. And I get a nice kind of slippery little line going on there, which can sound pretty cool. And I'm just... I can vary that every single time. In fact, most of the times when I do this, I can't do varying it because I can never remember what I played between the last time. But getting that... And I can go backwards and forwards on that. And now working it into a line like this with the backing track, what I always suggest is first of all kind of get your rhythm. I've got that, but now I've got to get it into the time. I've got to work that little. Into that. And one of the ways that can be fun on this is to do it in odd number groups. And because you're using odd numbers, it guarantees it's going to be off a little bit when you play. If you play triplets, that doesn't have the same effect, but if you take 5s, which if anybody's a fan of Geoff, one of his big things is taking groups of 5 notes and playing them through the scales. But you can just take, I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-1. I can add 2 more to it and do a 7. And they sound pretty cool. And after a while you start getting used to what a 7 or a 5 will sound like as you play. And that can get a nice little rhythm to play. Of course, I'm playing it fast, it's for beginners, but just a practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there I'm just taking little odd numbers, groups of 5, groups of 3, groups of 7, and just breaking them as I'm playing through. It can be quite good fun. I don't know if anybody's kind of listening or watching it at the moment. Who's got any agreement on that? Let's see if there's anybody got any comments here. Not that I'm an expert on how to do all this. No. What have I got here? No. Apparently it's open now. As you can see, I'm a total noob at doing this. But I am going to be doing a few more streams on this as I get a little bit more experienced. So if anybody's got any questions while they're playing on this, then you can ask me about it. I can add a little bit more to it. One of the other things I like to do with this is I will take certain notes from different scales. What I mean by this here, I'm in an A minor. What I like to do is to superimpose a G major scale over the top of this. Now, if anybody understands what I'm doing there, good to go. Right, because what I'm actually doing, I'm turning this A minor, if I can try and stop, into a Dorian scale, because I'm playing that as the second mode of G major. So we've got this A minor chord that's being forced, but I'm playing the notes of G major over the top of it. And I like to dip into that. So as I'm playing through an A minor, over an A minor 7, I can take notes from the G major scale, and I'm basing it on the 3 notes per string of G major. I'm getting this 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. So as I'm playing with that backing track, I am dropping notes in. I'm just going to go back to it here, that sound very interesting. Because we're in A minor, I can use the 3 note per string on the C major position, and I can get nice little runs. So I'm still keeping it in the key, but I'm using that whole and then back into an A minor. So I'm just taking that 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. That's even before I start doing any string bends whatsoever. I'm just keeping it straight in. But the main thing is I'm not trying to do too many. Oh yeah, okay, that was a little bit kind of legato working on that. But for the beginner who's kind of venturing out, he's just taking short little. Varying them around. You don't have to go and play every single note. You can play it 3 notes. I'm just playing. Got a nice little line going on there without playing it out, without trying to get, I've got every note, let's play every single note. It's the last thing that we want. What I'm going to do with this lesson, I'm going to attach some information with these charts that I'm showing you probably straight away. These things get, from what I'm understanding, these tend to go live very, very quickly. So I'll try and get them up as quickly as possible anyway. But just giving you the G major 3 notes per string and also the C major 3 notes per string. So you can experiment with that across this A minor pentatonic. I will show you these patterns that you can add to it, and that you can do, which you can actually play it down here as well, because it's the same thing that I've been doing here, but moved down. I'm just playing up an octave on that. Now, well, I hope I'm not getting too confusing for anybody out there, if there is anybody out there at the moment. But hopefully, just kind of just following along what I'm doing, I'm sure that you can just see how relatively easy it is. Oh, hello, how are you doing? I can see Clement. Good to hear from you. Hope I'm not rambling too much, and I hope you can actually understand what I'm talking about. That's if you're still there. But I'm just trying to look at some of the little things that I like to do. Oh, one of the things that I find that can be fun through this pentatonic is to take a pattern, 4 patterns, and I'm going to take this 8, 7, 5, and then 8, 7, 5 on the B, and then 8, 7, 5 on the G string, and I get it. I've got them notes. But what I like to do is just to move them around. So I'm just juggling them out. Using pull-offs. Get a nice little kind of a run through. So you get kind of a little fun little thing going over the top of a backing track. Of course, remember, don't forget you can play these in a key. We're just keeping them in here into A minor, but they can be played in any one. But it's just simple ideas. We can bend strings, of course. The favourite one is to bend this flat 5. We can bend up here, which again is that knife, which I always like to do, is to bend like that. Yeah, clapped and that. And the thing with that 5 here, I can do a half tone or a whole tone bend. They all work, there's your whole. Or I can do the half. And the thing about bending, a lot of people get wrong. They don't bend the right. They don't bend the right string. That sounds as though like, what does that mean? When you first start to learn to bend, it's very hard to get your intonation right. So what I always do with the students is tell them, target the notes where you've only got a whole tone bend to worry about. So if we're in this position 1, you can bend the 8th up to the 10th. Bend that one, whole tone bend. I can do the same thing here on 10 on the 8 on the B. That, and I can do it on the 5, and so on the 7 on the G. Because you ain't going to be doing it too well on the 7 on the D. Unless your name's Dave Gilmore. Because that's the tone and a half, because the next note is here, and you've got to... It's out way, way, way. And you're going to sound terrible, you know, you do a half tone bend or a full tone. It just isn't going to work too well. And as soon as you start doing that and you hear it, that's when the nerves start, and that's when you start to make more and more mistakes. So don't try and bend on them notes yet. There's other great places to bend, but leave these minor third bends that you've got here, 3 fret bends out. Focus on the G. Focus on that B. And focus on that E note. You can do the same on there, the half tones. And then they work, but don't really try and do it on the other two. I wouldn't bother really on the other 3 strings at this point until you get comfortable with doing string bends on them. And I could talk about string bends a long time, and the art of doing the string bend, which is another thing that I probably will put onto a video just to talk about it, because so many people don't get it right. They use it too much instead of using the wrist, but it's another thing. But anyway, I'm going to kind of wind this down. This is getting near the half hour mark, and you're probably sick to death of hearing me talk about it. But main thing is with these patterns, simple ways of linking up. Going down. Very, very easy, just slipping them around, and that will. Even you can actually go from here. I've gone between the two, so that kind of works as well. So it does. But you know, this is fun. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play it over this backing track, just for a few more minutes until the end. If anybody's got any comments, anything you'd like me to discuss, to go over on these lessons that are live, please let me know. Because to me, I think this might be a better way for me to help with more of the technique than it would be in a video. Because I'm kind of targeting as I'm doing it. So it's more like one of my lessons in a sense, without the rambling, of course. But I would love to hear from you. If you've got any kind of feedback on anything, let's say, be gentle on this one. It was the first time, but I do plan on doing a few more. Now, anyway, I'm going to sign off. This Geoff Sinker from Skype Lessons Online.com. If you are interested in lessons, let me know. Discussion about it. I've got a few slots still left out there that if you're interested in taking them, we can go on from there. Anyway, let me play out, and I'll see you all again very soon.